there, sports fans. This is Denise Rouleau for Pro Sports Broadcasting. I'm here at Chase Field, where tonight the Diamondbacks took on the Phillies in the first of a 4-game series. Next, Bob.
Thank you, Denise. And yes, in the game last night, the Diamondbacks beat the Philadelphia Phillies 9-8. It was another comeback victory for the Diamondbacks, who were down as much as 5-1. Tommy Henry started this game, did not look good. And, I've been saying that right along. This guy's not ready, and they need to have another starting pitcher in this rotation. Tommy Henry and Ryan Nelson just haven't got the job done. Tonight, Zach Davies does go. Before the game, we had the opportunity of catching up with the manager, Torey Lovullo, followed by, there was an incident last night. Actually, Corbin Carroll got hit twice by a pitch, and Torey Lovullo came out, wound up getting ejected, benches cleared. We have a little video of the benches clearing, and that's how we will end that show today. This is Bob King-Panaris. Stay safe, everybody, and see you tomorrow. Take care.
We feel the support. We're playing some visiting in some visiting venues, and we're starting to see some more DBacks fans show up, and there's a lot of support for us. We're outside of the city, and we certainly appreciate that. And we know we got to play better baseball to earn the trust of our fans here, and we will. We will.
Torey, just Corbin Carroll, National League player, you said you called him this morning with that.
Yeah.
What's that mean? You kind of downplayed it with us quite a bit. You're just like chill over it.
Yeah, me too. I called him to congratulate him. I talked about the hard work and the perseverance and the belief that he's going to go out there and execute every single day. And he just said, oh, "Great, thanks, I appreciate it, and I'll see you about 2 o'clock later today." And I mean, that his humbleness is one of the things that we all love about him. He's never satisfied. He's always on a search to get better. I've been saying he never wastes days. He never wastes one day learning, growing, and pushing forward. So this is a great honor for him. I know it's the first of many. He's playing at a very, very high level right now. And even when he doesn't get hits, he's helping us win baseball games. He's got a huge presence inside of our lineup right now.
So what about Corbin being in the All-Star conversation and Lourdes being in the top 3 among outfielders?
Yeah, my youngest son told me that this morning about Lourdes. We got a good team. We got good players, and they deserve that consideration. We're a long way from now until that the Midsummer Classic, but I'm proud of the way the guys have earned everything that they've gotten. Nobody's handed anything to them. We were and continue to be a fairly unknown team, but I think when you're recognized by your peers and people just outside of the industry that you're doing things right at a high level, you're going to have some people that are going to make the All-Star game. And they deserve it. They deserve that consideration. But I know that they'll tell you they got a lot more to prove, and they want to keep going every single day.
The T-shirt you have on?
Yeah, this is a great T-shirt. It showed up on my desk in Pittsburgh. I thought everybody got one. I was told that only he got one and I got one, and I love supporting these kids in their own special way. So. Yeah, I got all sorts of T-shirts, but this is a pretty good one. He was officially made an American citizen today, so he was sworn in today. So he'll probably see that. And I maybe shouldn't have shared it with you, but the secret's out right now.
It's a good way to take care of the mail is give the manager the shirt first, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I tell him. Like, you want to play today? Give me all the free stuff. Want me to say something good about you? You keep giving me free stuff, Kingpin.
The comeback yesterday, scoring 4 in the 9th. Are there any signs that you see in the dugout when a team has belief that those things are going to happen?
The game started early, and I thought we were ready to go, and then we just got sucker punched by a big inning, and they got after Zach. But I think we were still engaged all the way through. There was no shutdown, no downturn in energy or focus. And those are the things that I'm always paying attention to. This group is always engaged. They knew that they had to find a way to just chip into that lead, what they did. And then I figured with some of the maneuvering that the Tigers were doing, that they would be a little bit vulnerable in the very back half of the game. I was sensing that. I think there was a certain energy when we kept building an inning. We didn't get anything in the 8th. But I think as soon as we got somebody on in the 9th, everybody was super engaged. We were just trying to turn it over to the top of the lineup with men on, obviously knowing that Corbin's very hot, and it just worked out. But I think we were engaged the entire day yesterday. We were a little tired. I think both teams were, but we fought, and we fought with everything that we had. And once, it was a very emotional dugout once Christian got that base hit. And, we had prepared and talked about stepping up at the right time, the most critical moment. We had a couple guys do it, but Christian was fantastic all the way down to his final strike and just rode out a breaking ball or changeup and hit it to the right spot. Scored those 2 big runs.
What was that 8:35 start like for you guys? I know it's 8:35 on the Pacific time, so your body clock worked.
Yeah, we had an 8 o'clock bus, which was 5 o'clock our time. I was up at 7. Obviously, that was an hour before that. And I think everybody was in that category. Everybody, the alarm went off and you thought, what state am I in? Where am I? And, where's the bathroom? I got to get in the shower. So we all compared notes and laughed about it. But I think everybody engaged the right way, the right time. And it took us a little while to get kick-started, I'm not going to lie. And I think Zach didn't have a typical Zach out. He made maybe a mistake or two. I don't want to make excuses for him, and he would definitely not make this excuse. But I don't think he was at his best, maybe because of the early start. But he figured it out. He pitched well enough, deep enough into the game that it'll enable us to maneuver into the bullpen the right way.
His velocity was down quite a bit.
Velocity?
Yeah, it was down quite a bit, not just a half a tick. It was like 1.5 by the end of the game, even 2. Any concerns about that?
For me, no. I asked him, how he's feeling, and I saw the first pitch of the game was 90. Everybody, that kind of raised a red flag, but we saw it spike up to 93, 94 times. So, once again, it was early. It was a very early start. Everybody's out of their routines and the process that we all know. It's totally flip-flopped. And maybe that was the reason for it. But I asked him how he was feeling, and he said fine, and I trust Zach. As soon as he told me that, no questions asked.
We know Matt was going to come back and Carson was going to come back. Just the decisions to send Ginkle and Herrera down, those had to be tough ones.
Very, very hard decisions. Very hard. First with Ginkle, who's been throwing the ball extremely well. And, in another place in time, he would be a count-on reliever. But for right now, we're going well enough where we can send somebody down that has the type of numbers and had the success that he's had. And it was not an easy conversation. He challenged me on a couple things, and we ended up having a really good conversation through it. And he saw it. He didn't necessarily believe or like the idea, but he understood and saw it through my lens a little bit more clearly after we had that conversation. But I explained to him there's no reason for him not to be able to go down and continue to throw the ball this well. And if we did get it wrong or we made a mistake or something else happens, we can reverse that right away in 15 days or less, depending on what's going on if there's an injured player. And then with Herrera, I think we all understood that with Gabby's progression and the way he stepped in and held serve for us in Carson's absence, that he was going to be the guy that we were going to count on to back up or split time with Carson. And Herrera did a fantastic job, and I explained that to him. We would not be where we are right now, having the success that we're having without Hosey being able to do what he did. But he understood, and I told him one day, we'll never have this conversation. You're going to be a big leaguer for the rest of your life. But for right now, we need you to go down and get reps and stay ready. And he understood that.
So I think you're something like 24-12 since May 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Does it concern you that you're taking parts of the team that have played so well, sending it out to put people back into the team who've been hurt and have to get up to speed?
Yeah, it's a very fair question, right? You've got some positive jujus going, and all of a sudden you're going to mix it all up and change your DNA. and the complexion of your team. But Carson is an unbelievable leader behind the plate. I think we've missed that at times. I know that there are some risks with some of these moves, but Carson needs to help us win baseball games the way he has over the past couple of years. And then, you're getting our all-star back. You're getting Joe Mantiply back, who we counted on mightily last year. He almost threw 70 games and helped us win a lot of baseball games. So, it's for me, it's addition by addition. These are a couple of guys that we know are good baseball players, and we're going to send down a couple of baseball players that are going to continue to get those reps. And once again, if we get it wrong and we've totally made a mistake, those are things that we can undo and we can change it quickly. But for right now, this is a decision that we feel is going to be the best way for us to win baseball games.
Torrey Carson was very complimentary of Moreno and spoke on being ready for whatever role he's going to see. How does it help you as a manager to have someone with his mindset, given the prominence of him in the last 4 years, and if it's more of a timeshare for him as opposed to how much of a starter he was the last couple of years?
Yeah, it is a whole mindset thing. There's been a shift in our mindset here over the past couple of years. It's a selflessness mindset, and that does not surprise me whatsoever. Carson wants to be our everyday catcher. He's been our everyday catcher, but he understands where he fits into this process. I don't know what the breakdown is going to be. I'm going to start out 50-50 and then work it from there. But I think Carson's a smart baseball player that is seen with the type of success we're having every single day, and he knows his responsibility inside of this team. So I'm glad that he said that. I think it speaks volumes about our culture and the character of each one of our players. But I don't know where it'll evolve and what direction it'll go in. I think it's going to be a very, very fluid situation for us.
You mentioned the Barry's answer, some of the leadership that was missing at times from him. What are some of the nuances as a catcher that he brings now with his return?
Yeah, just the presence back there, taking control of the pitcher. Pitcher needs guidance sometimes. Pitcher becomes vulnerable sometimes. And I think with Carson's expertise and sight lines and experience, he's going to be able to put a sign down with conviction. He's going to be able to have conversations a little bit more deeper than, say, somebody that is just trying to find their own way. Carson has been here now for 4 years and understands what our program is, and I think a lot of people respect him, and he's going to get that immediate presence once he steps back behind home plate today.
Is one of them going to get more left-handed starters on the other side? Or how are you just going to go every day?
Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about it. I don't want to get guys locked up with throwing to a certain catcher or catching a certain pitcher. They're both right-handed. I get a lot of information that'll help me with some of the projected outcomes, and I'll lean on that. I'll lean on conversations with the hitting coaches. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I want to put guys in the best position to be successful every single day. That's one of the main goals every single day for me. So I've got to pay attention to it. I don't know what that answer is right now, but something I've been thinking about.
What was it like meeting Corbin Carroll the first time? He's not the most physically imposing person. Did you meet him and were like, this guy's supposed to be the savior of our franchise? What was that like?
I do remember it. I'm going to share just a little bit of the story. I don't know what year he was drafted in. 19, I think 19, and that was the year we had like 7 picks in the first 82, right? So I remember Amiel said goodbye to me, and he's going upstairs to make his draft picks, and I said, all right, man, Amiel, you got to hit this one hard. Let's go. We've got 7 of them. You know what this is called? He's like, no, what is it? I'm like, it's called job security. So go make it the best that you can possibly make it. Well, I think he aced the test, right? And some of the guys out of that draft are here right now that are helping us win baseball games. So the head of the class clearly was Corbin. He was our first pick. I do remember meeting him for the first time. He signed his contract, came here and took BP with us, and it didn't surprise me. I knew that Amiel would draft anybody that was just the best athlete, the best player with the best tools. So the first round of BP, the first swing that he took, there's a rhythm to taking BP. Ball's thrown, crack, hit, watch the flight of it, and then you get ready for the ball to come back in. So there's a timing. I don't know what it is, maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds, a little bit of pause. Well, he hit the first ball to center field, and I'm like, And he sat there and he watched it, and I'm like, well, I don't know what he's watching that ball for. It's not going anywhere. And plus, he's making the BP pitcher wait. Like, what is this guy doing? He just signed his contract today. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Well, the ball kept carrying and carrying and carrying and carrying and carrying and hit off the center field backdrop. And I'm like, this guy's 17, 18 years old. Let's all go back to when we were 17, 18 years old. In this room right now, is there any way with a wooden bat in front of all of your peers, just signed a contract as a first-round draft choice, would we come close to hitting a ball off the center field wall? I know for sure, not me. I didn't have hair under my arms, so there's no way. No way. I'm like, Emil, you got the right guy. Let's go. So that's my first interaction, first time meeting him.
Tori, in regards to Corbin's big contract this offseason, obviously it's a gamble by the organization of sorts to guarantee that much money with so little service time. I mean, at this point, 65 games into the season, of year one of it, does it already feel like a bargain of sorts?
Yeah, I'm not in that department, but I've listened to certain conversations. That group felt like it was one of the easier decisions, the more on the low risk side of it, and that if he continues on this pace, we're going to win the deal, right? It's going to be a bargain for us. But I don't think Corbin sees it that way. Corbin sees it as, I've got to earn every penny of that, and I want to show them that they did right by me. And that's his mindset. There's a certain humbleness to him. You guys pick up on, I'm telling you, he is as humble and hardworking and as grateful as anybody I've ever met. And he's 22, 23 years old. That's a lot to manage, and that's who he is. That's who he is at his core. So was I worried about it? Not one bit, because I knew he was going to be here for the next 10 years, and that makes me happy. So whatever the price was, it was fair, and he's here, and that's all I care about.
Tori, I asked Hollywood Brown for the Cardinals just who would win in a race between him and Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
He said Corbin didn't have a shot, but who do you take in that?
I don't know. That's a good question. He's a pretty fast human being. We should set that up somehow, some way. Maybe, I don't know if there's an overlap. I don't want anybody to pull a muscle in an off season, but if there's an overlap, let's throw it out there. And we put Dre Jameson in there too. I told you guys about the Dre Jameson story. Dre's beaten Corbin twice. Yeah, so that'd be pretty good. I don't know enough about him and his speed. I don't want to discredit it, but I do know Corbin, and I know that he'd probably prepare for it and have a plan and a routine to be even faster that day. So I don't want to bet against Corbin ever.
Would you use Jameson as a pinch runner?
We've talked about it. Yeah, we've talked about it. Possibly.
Where would you put Deion Sanders in his prime?
I
think he's the fastest guy.
Right around Corbin. Right around Corbin. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on Deion. Ball would go into the gap. I'd run and watch him as I was running and chasing the ball. The ball's that way, and I would run and just watch him. He was pretty fast. He'd cut off angles as good as anybody.
Once hit a double of the right center field fence at the old stadium in San Diego, the cyclone fence, and by the time the ball hit the wall, he was standing on second.
I believe it. You know who else was fast was Gibby. Gibby was really super fast, real fast.
Yeah.
Tori, does Lourdes being sworn in have anything to do with him not being in the lineup today?
No, zero.
Okay.
Zero.
Is he okay as far as the groin tightness is?
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. We talked about playing him a couple days in a row and then give him a day off. He's 100%. He's ready to go.
Can you help our photographer from the team shop, because he can't get a Gurriel Jr. jersey, they won't put JR on it.
Really?
Can you figure that one out?
Is it a jersey or a jersey?
Was it a jersey, Dan?
You got me into this. They won't put a period on the jersey.
Oh, really?
Put a period.
He's got to talk to right here.
That's not his department.
Casey looks thrilled.
Top priority.
Yeah. He's a good player. Good player, I'll tell you that.